The mother is dying. She calls her only daughter to the bedside, and the girl comes still small enough to be lifted, but old enough to understand that this is the last time. Be good, the mother whispers. Be pious and good, and God will protect you. I will look down from heaven and be with you always. The daughter nods, but she is shaking. The mother closes her eyes. Outside, the snow begins to fall, white and silent, covering the world in a shroud. Time does what it always does. It moves. The father remarries. He brings home a wife, tall and cold, and her two daughters who smile with their mouths but not their eyes. They arrive in a carriage, their trunks heavy with silks and jewels. The girl, she is older now, a young woman with her mother's dark hair, watches from the doorway as they sweep into the house. The stepmother looks her up and down once and something hardens in her face. That night they take the girl's room, they take her bed, they give her rags and tell her to sleep by the hearth. They call her Aschenputtel now, Ash Fool, Cinder Girl. She scrubs floors, hauls water, tends the fire. Her hands crack and bleed. Soot streaks her face and tangles in her hair. The stepsisters laugh when she brings them breakfast. The stepmother watches with satisfaction. The father says nothing. He is a shadow in his own house. At night, Aschenputtel curls by the hearth in her gray rags, and she thinks of her mother's voice. Be good, but goodness has bought her nothing but ashes. She goes to her mother's grave. It is a small mound beneath a hazel tree that has not yet grown. She brings a twig, slender and green, and plants it in the earth. Then she kneels and she weeps. The tears fall onto the soil, soaking into the roots. She comes every day. She kneels, she weeps, she whispers to the stone. I'm good, mother. I'm pious and good. Where's your protection? The twig begins to grow. Fed by salt and sorrow, it grows. The hazel tree grows tall and strong. Its branches spread wide over the grave, a canopy of green and silver. And in the highest branch, a white bird comes to nest. It watches her with eyes too bright, too knowing. When she kneels beneath the tree and whispers what she wishes, the bird listens. Sometimes it sings, sometimes it drops what she needs into her lap. A crust of bread when she is starving, a ribbon when her hair is matted beyond repair. It is a strange comfort. Magic born from a grave is never quite safe. The king proclaims a festival. 3 days of dancing, feasting, music. The prince will choose a bride. The stepsisters shriek with delight. They parade through the house in gowns of silk and velvet, pinching their cheeks, painting their lips. The stepmother orders Aschenputtel to lace their corsets, to curl their hair, to polish their shoes until they gleam. Go on, she says, make them beautiful. As if beauty could be stitched over cruelty, as if the prince would not see what they are. Aschenputtel says nothing. Her hands shake as she ties the ribbons. You want to go to the festival? Stepmother's smile is sharp as a knife. Very well. She dumps 2 dishes of lentils into the hearth ashes. Pick these out in 1 hour, she says, and you may go. Aschenputtel stares at the impossible task. 1,000 tiny seeds scattered among cinders and soot, but she does not weep. She calls. From the window, from the eaves they come, turtle doves and pigeons, sparrows and larks. They descend in a storm of wings and beaks, pecking, sorting, working. In half an hour, the lentils are clean in the dish, and every ash swept away. The stepmother looks at the clean lentils. Her face goes white, then red. You have no dress, she says coldly. You have no shoes, you cannot go. She sweeps out with her daughters, the door slamming like a coffin lid. Aschenputtel walks to the grave. She does not run.
She kneels beneath the hazel tree and she asks.
The white bird flutters down, and the branches shake, and what falls into her arms takes her breath away. A gown of gold and silver shimmering like starlight, slippers woven from gold thread, impossibly delicate. She puts them on, and for the first time in years she remembers what it is to be beautiful. She enters the palace like a dream walking. No one knows her. The soot is gone. Her dark hair shines. The golden gown moves like living light. The prince sees her, and he sees no one else. He crosses the hall, takes her hand, and will not let go. They dance, and the world falls away. For 3 hours, she is not Aschenputtel. She is not the Ash Fool. She is something else, something almost free. But midnight approaches. She slips from his grasp like water and runs into the night. The prince chases, but she is already gone. The second night the same. The tree gives her a gown even more splendid, silver and pearl, moon-colored, luminous. The prince speaks of nothing but how he has thought of her every moment since she vanished. He does not ask her name. He only holds her, as if she might disappear, and she does. Midnight strikes, and again she runs. He orders the stairs watched, the gates barred, but she knows the secret ways. She slips away like mist. This cannot last. Nothing this beautiful ever does. The third night, the prince is ready. He has the staircase painted with pitch, thick, black, sticky. Aschenputtel comes in a gown of pure gold, radiant as the sun itself. They dance, and he will not speak of anything but marriage, of keeping her, of never letting her go.
The desperation in his voice frightens her. Midnight comes, she runs,
and this time the trap springs. Her foot catches in the pitch, and she has to wrench it free, leaving the golden slipper behind. She flees with one bare foot, the gown already fading. The prince stands on the stairs, holding the tiny slipper, his face terrible with determination. The prince goes from house to house with the slipper. Whichever maiden's foot it fits, he will marry. He comes at last to Aschenputtel's house. The elder stepsister tries first. The slipper is too small. Her mother hands her a knife. Cut off your toe, she hisses. When you're queen, you will not need to walk. The girl obeys. She forces the slipper on and smiles through the pain. The prince lifts her onto his horse, and they ride toward the palace. And then the birds begin to sing. The doves on the hazel branches call out in voices clear as bells, turn back, there's blood in the shoe. The true bride waits at home for you. Blood drips from the stirrup. The prince turns the horse and brings the stepsister back in disgrace. The stepmother pushes forward the younger daughter. This one will fit, she says, but the slipper is too small for her as well. The mother gives her the knife. Cut off your heel. The girl does. She climbs onto the horse, smiling a red smile again. The birds sing. Turn back. Turn back. There's blood in the shoe. The prince rides back, his voice cold with fury. Have you no other daughter? The father, silent, weak, complicit, finally speaks. There is one more. She sits in the ashes. They bring Aschenputtel from the kitchen, gray and soot-stained, barefoot. The prince kneels and offers the slipper. She extends her foot. It slides on as if made for her alone, because it was. The prince lifts her onto his horse, and they ride to the palace. The wedding is grand, joyless, strange. Aschenputtel wears gold, but she does not smile. The stepsisters come, thinking to curry favor, to salvage something from the ruin. They walk beside the bride as she enters the church, and the doves descend, one for each sister. They swoop from the sky and do what they were always going to do. The screaming echoes through vaulted stone. When it is over, the stepsisters stumble into a darkness their own cruelty has earned. The wedding continues, and far from the church beneath the hazel tree, the white bird sings on.